Hello, everyone, and welcome to Daily Grace with Pastor James. Thank you so much for joining me in this episode. Today, we want to look at stress management, the value of a closed relationship. The value of a close relationship. Have you ever been stressed in life? I don't know about you, but for some time now, it's like everything is caving in. And most of us, because of the world that we live in today, everything is so fast. Everything should be done today. It's a microwave world. And that's tend to create stress. And of course, another key area that we have this stress on is when you now want to start comparing yourself, or when you are having self-doubt in yourself. All these things just create an unnecessary stress in us. So if we face that, how do we resolve it? Before we go into the solution, let me just read a wonderful story to you. It is called The Body Image Story. Judith Durham was one of the Australians' first international pop stars. As lead singer for The Seekers, he toured Australia and the world and had a string of hits, including the first Australian group to have a #1 hit overseas. I mean, that is a remarkable achievement. Yet, while Durham appeared to be on top of the world, emotionally, she was a mess. In contrast to her adoring fans, she became deeply depressed about her weight and appearance. Young people, please hear me. She started to hate her face, too chubby, eyes too small. She developed a hatred for her body, considering her fuller figure unattractive. When super teen model Twinkie came on the scene, her self-hatred grew. Even after losing 16 kilograms, she still felt fat. Durham says that her depression was matched by loneliness. There was no one she felt she could talk to about it. I was just consumed by it, she says. You could go to a doctor and ask for the diet pills, but I didn't know if there was anybody I could have talked to who could have changed inside my head, who could have convinced me it's all right to look like this. Wow. And this is the value of close relationship. Now, in our church, we have something that we used to call cell groups. And these are groups that are small groups in the bigger church who help each other in especially things like this. But now we call them connect groups. We are calling them connect group because that is where you connect with each other. That is where you can help each other when you are having issues. And it has been a great help to so many people from the testimonies that I've had from people. How do we manage stress? Jesus in Matthew 26, verse 38, he said, "Then he said to them, my soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me." So Jesus himself actually had this small group. He had this connect group. He had this cell group that helped him in times of stress. Notice the gospel, how Jesus just went about doing everything in this is connect group. He had a lot of disciples, but then he had those that he referred to as his close disciples. If you want to reduce your stress in life, you need to get connected. You need to get into a small group. You need to get into a cell group. You need to get into what we now call a connect group, because there you are going to seek help, and there you will see help. As believers especially, more than anything else, we need this connect group. Because as believers, sometimes we think that everything is rosy, everything should come easy to us, but that is not what the Bible is saying. So when you are stressed up that in spite of what you're doing in the church, that things seems not to be working for you, then you need the help of this Connect group that we are talking about. In your ministry, in church, as a worker, or even non-worker, you need this group. Just like Jesus turns to his Connect group for them to come and assist him in terms of trouble. The Bible said this: my soul is overwhelmed with sorrow. That is stress to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me. You see, sometimes, even in this Connect group that we are talking about, and you are stressed up, you probably don't even need their word of comfort. You probably don't need their money. You probably don't need anything from them other than their presence. I've heard stories of people who are in the hospital and their Connect groups that we are talking about went there to visit them. That is priceless. And when you see people like that, you are so overwhelmed and you are thanking God that you have people around you. When you have people around you to discuss with, to share issues with, whatever you are going through. I'm not saying you should just go around sharing your stories with anybody, but there could be some trusted people. And that is why in this Connect group that we're talking about, you are together, you learn each other's ways, you know those who can actually keep secrets, you know those who can actually be able to maybe advise you or be there for you, and then you can discuss things with them. And even if you feel that there's no one in your Connect group that you can discuss with, of course we'll have the pastorate. You can discuss with them, you can share with them, and they will pray with you and encourage you, because one thing in life is when you get to a point of self-depression, when you get to a point where you are losing confidence in yourself, it's a bad place to be. No one can look down on you without your permission. No one can look at you and say you are a nobody without your permission. You are the only one that can make people do that. And the second thing that we can use to help in this stress management is recreation. Again, even in this Connect group, as we're going to be coming to the summer, we're going to have a situation where they just go out and just relax and recreate and discuss and just get out of the hustling and bustling of this world. Get out of those tight schedules, get out of your computer, get out of your cell phones and just go and relax, especially in the parks, and enjoy nature. These are things that we are going to be looking at. Mark 6:31 tells us, he said, then, because so many people were coming and going, that they did not even have a chance to eat. This is Jesus and his disciples that we're talking about. He said to his disciples, he said to them, come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest. That's recreation. With all the people that were just going up and down and coming to them for one thing or another, at some point, Jesus realized that they needed a timeout for themselves as a Connect group. And they went somewhere to take a rest and relax and refreshed themselves and coming back to face the world again. Thank you so much for listening to me in this episode, and I hope and pray that it has blessed you. And if it has, please do share it with others so that they can also be blessed. And if you are looking for a Bible-believing church, we have a wonderful brethren that will welcome you. I pastor RCCG Solid Rock Parish, Derby, 55 Woods Lane, DE22 3UD. Thank you, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.